How to control overthinking. The mind is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. Have you ever laid in bed at night, your body exhausted, but your mind racing like it's running a marathon? You replay conversations, worry about things that haven't even happened, and imagine scenarios that will likely never come true. You ask yourself endless what-ifs and dive into a loop of doubt, fear, and anxiety. This, my friend, is the silent struggle of overthinking, a habit that robs you of peace, paralyzes your decision-making, and holds you hostage inside your own head. But here's the good news. You can break free. Overthinking is not a personality trait. It's not your destiny. It's a mental habit, and like any habit, it can be unlearned. This audiobook is your roadmap to clarity. Not some fluffy, just think positive advice, but real, actionable, motivational strategies that will help you regain control of your thoughts, build inner peace, and make powerful decisions without second-guessing yourself into paralysis. Overthinking is not a sign that you're weak or broken. In fact, it usually comes from a place of intelligence. Smart people think a lot. They weigh options, predict outcomes, try to avoid mistakes. But when this gift of thinking goes unchecked, it turns into a curse. Instead of moving forward, you stay stuck. And that's where this audiobook comes in. We're going to flip the switch. In the next 10 chapters, we'll go deep into the roots of overthinking. You'll discover why your brain defaults to overanalyzing, how to rewire your thinking patterns, tools to calm mental chatter instantly, how to build confidence in your choices, how to let go of perfectionism and fear, and how to step into action, clarity, and peace. Each chapter is crafted to motivate you, guide you, and empower you with practical tools and powerful mindset shifts. This is not just information, it's transformation. Imagine waking up with a quiet mind. Imagine being able to trust your gut. Imagine making bold decisions without spiraling into doubt. Imagine freeing up your energy to actually live instead of worry. It's all possible. This audiobook will not only teach you how to stop overthinking, it will help you build a new identity. Someone who is calm, clear, confident, and in control. Whether you're someone who constantly replays past mistakes, worries about the future, or simply struggles to quiet the noise in your head, this journey is for you. So take a deep breath. You're in the right place. Let's begin the journey to mental freedom, one chapter at a time. Chapter 1 begins now. Understand the root, why we overthink. Before you can fix a problem, you have to understand it. Overthinking isn't just about having a busy mind. It's about being stuck in a cycle of fear, doubt, and trying to control what you can't. And guess what? That cycle has a root. And when you discover that root, everything begins to change. Let's start here. Overthinking is your brain trying to protect you. Yes, you heard that right. Your mind is not against you. It's just working overtime to keep you safe from failure, rejection, embarrassment, or making the wrong choice. It's like your brain says, if I just think long enough, I'll avoid pain. But in reality, that endless thinking becomes the very thing that causes pain. We overthink because we're afraid of failing, making the wrong move, being judged, being rejected, not being perfect, losing something or someone, the unknown. So instead of making a decision, we freeze. Instead of acting, we overanalyze. Instead of living, we overthink. The two types of overthinking. To understand how overthinking works, let's break it down into two common patterns. Ruminating on the past. This is when your mind replays conversations, mistakes, regrets, or embarrassing moments over and over again. You tell yourself, I should have said this. Why did I do that? What if they think I'm stupid? You live in the rearview mirror, punishing yourself for things you can't change, worrying about the future. This is where you play out every worst-case scenario in your head. You imagine everything going wrong before it even happens. What if I fail? What if I get hurt? What if it all falls apart? You try to predict the future so you can feel in control, but it only creates anxiety and stress. Here's the truth. The past is done. The future hasn't arrived. The only place overthinking exists is in your head. It's not happening in reality. It's happening in your imagination. And that means you have the power to change it. Where does overthinking begin? Most overthinking starts with one small trigger. A single thought. It could be a simple decision. What if I choose the wrong career? What if I say something wrong in this meeting? What if they don't reply to my message? That thought grows. You start playing out scenarios. You imagine all the ways it could go wrong. You start asking more what-ifs. Before you know it, your brain has spiraled into a loop. Sound familiar? That's how fast it happens. But here's the powerful part. Just as quickly as it starts, you can stop it, if you know how. The hidden beliefs behind overthinking. If you dig a little deeper, you'll find that overthinking is often rooted in false beliefs you've picked up over time. For example, if I think longer, I'll make the perfect decision. If I worry enough, I'll prevent bad things from happening. If I don't consider every possible outcome, I'll regret it. If I mess up, I'll be judged or rejected. These beliefs feel true because they're wired into your subconscious. Maybe from childhood, past trauma, failure, or even social pressure. But let me ask you something. Has overthinking ever actually helped you solve a problem faster? Has worrying ever made you feel in control? Has analyzing every option ever brought you peace? No. It only creates more confusion, anxiety, and self-doubt. So the first step in breaking free is to challenge these beliefs. Say this out loud with me. Overthinking is not helping me. It's holding me back. That's where the breakthrough begins. The mind is a tool, not a master. Here's a powerful truth. Your mind is a tool. Like a hammer. Like a knife. It's made to solve problems, not become one. But most people let their mind run wild like a toddler with scissors. Unsupervised. Untamed. Unchecked. What you need to learn is how to become the observer of your thoughts, not the victim of them. You are not your thoughts. You are the thinker of your thoughts. And that means you can choose which thoughts stay and which ones go. That's mental freedom. A simple visual trick, the mental remote control. Here's a little hack to help you understand this. Imagine your mind is a television. Every thought is a channel. When you start overthinking, it's like you've landed on the anxiety channel or worst-case scenario network. Now ask yourself, would you sit and keep watching a horrible show you hate? Or would you grab the remote and change the channel? The same applies to your thoughts. When you start overthinking, say to yourself, change the channel. Shift your focus. Get up. Move. Interrupt the pattern. You don't have to stay stuck on that mental loop. This single idea can shift your life. Key takeaway from Chapter 1. Overthinking isn't the problem. The problem is believing every thought your mind throws at you. Once you realize that thoughts are just mental habits, not facts, you take your power back. You stop reacting. You start choosing. This chapter was about understanding the root. Knowing where overthinking comes from gives you the foundation to beat it. In the next chapter, we'll go deeper into the practical side. How to interrupt overthinking in the moment. How to rewire your brain to stop the loop. And how to train your mind to be calm, focused, and powerful. Because once you control your thoughts, you control your life. Take a breath. You've just taken your first step toward mental freedom. You are not stuck. You are not broken. You are not alone. You are capable of change, And it begins right now. Chapter 2. Break the Loop. How to interrupt overthinking in the moment. You've probably had this experience before. You start thinking about something small, maybe a conversation you had earlier or a decision you need to make. It seems harmless at first, just a little mental processing. But then it snowballs. Within minutes, your mind is spinning in every direction, creating stress, self-doubt, and paralysis. That's the loop of overthinking. It starts with a single thought and turns into an endless cycle of mental noise. But here's the truth. Every loop can be broken. You just need the right tools and awareness. In this chapter, you're going to learn how to interrupt overthinking in real time. Not later. Not tomorrow. Not after your mind has run wild for hours. But right in the moment. Let's break the loop, step by step. Step 1. Recognize the pattern. The first and most powerful step is awareness. You can't stop a loop you don't know you're in. So ask yourself, am I replaying the same thought again and again? Am I imagining worst-case scenarios? Am I creating problems that haven't happened? Am I stuck trying to find a perfect answer or solution? If the answer is yes, you're not thinking, you're looping. Recognizing this shift from normal thinking to overthinking is the key to regaining control. Once you name it, you can tame it. Try saying to yourself, out loud or silently, this is overthinking. I'm looping. Time to interrupt it. That simple acknowledgement changes everything. It pulls you out of autopilot and puts you back in charge. Step 2. Label the thought, don't engage it. Most people get trapped because they believe every thought is important. But thoughts are like clouds, they come and go. Not everyone deserves your attention. Here's a simple technique. Label the thought instead of diving into it. For example, here's the doubt thought again. There's that fear of failure. This is me trying to be perfect. There goes the what-if story again. Label it, then let it pass. This practice is based on mindfulness, and it trains your brain to see thoughts as events, not facts. You stop becoming the thought and start becoming the observer of the thought. And that's a powerful shift. Step 3. Move your body to change your mind. Your mind and body are connected. When your thoughts get stuck, move your body to break the loop. Physical movement sends a signal to your brain that it's time to shift gears. Try this. Stand up and stretch. Go for a short walk. Do 10 jumping jacks. Shake out your hands and take 3 deep breaths. Splash cold water on your face. It sounds simple, but it works. You're interrupting the mental pattern with physical action. You're telling your nervous system, we're not staying in this stress loop. The moment you move, you shift. Your thoughts begin to slow down. Your perspective begins to widen. You become present again. Step 4. Use the 5-4-3-2-1 technique. This is a quick grounding method to pull you out of your head and into the present moment. It engages your senses and distracts your mind from spiraling. Here's how it works. 5 things you can see. 4 things you can touch. 3 things you can hear. 2 things you can smell. 1 thing you can taste. This simple exercise brings you back into your body, your environment, and your reality. It breaks the loop by shifting focus from thought to sensation. Overthinking lives in the mind. Presence lives in the body. Bring yourself back home. Step 5. Ask better questions. Most overthinking comes from asking yourself bad questions like, what if I fail? Why did I do that? What if this all goes wrong? What will they think of me? Your brain will always find answers, even if the questions are negative. So change the questions, and you'll change the loop. Try asking, what's one small action I can take right now? What's the worst that could happen, and how would I handle it? What's the best possible outcome? Is this thought helpful or harmful? Will this matter a week from now? Questions are powerful tools. They direct your focus. They steer your emotional state. Use them wisely. Step 6. Do the opposite of what overthinking wants. Overthinking wants you to pause, delay, rehearse, over-prepare, avoid. So your job is to do the opposite. Hit send. Make the call. Choose the option. Start the task. Take the first step. When you act before your mind has a chance to spiral, you train yourself to move in spite of doubt. That's how confidence is built. Not by eliminating fear, but by acting even when fear is present. Remember, clarity doesn't come before action. It comes from action. Step 7. Create a go-to distraction list. Sometimes, your mind is just too noisy to calm with logic or breathing. In those moments, healthy distraction can be your best friend. Make a personal list of go-to distractions you can use when you feel the loop starting. For example, listening to uplifting music, calling a friend, journaling, cleaning a room, watching a short comedy clip, reading a few pages of a book, going outside. The goal is to redirect your energy, not suppress your emotions. You're not avoiding the problem. You're interrupting the pattern so you can return with a clearer mind. Final thoughts. Overthinking isn't a life sentence. It's a habit. And like any habit, it can be broken. In the moment, it might feel powerful, like it's taking over you. But remember this, you are not your thoughts. You are the thinker. You are in control. Breaking the loop is not about perfection. You don't need to win every mental battle. You just need to interrupt the cycle, one moment at a time. With practice, it gets easier. With consistency, it becomes natural. And one day, you'll look back and realize how far you've come. So next time the loop starts, don't feed it. Break it. In the next chapter, we're going to go even deeper. How to reprogram your mind to stop overthinking at the root. It's time to move from reaction to rewiring. You're doing better than you think. Keep going. Chapter 3. Rewire your mind. Build new thought patterns that serve you. Overthinking doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of mental patterns, habits you've built over time without even realizing it. And here's the key idea for this chapter. What's been wired into your mind can also be rewired. You don't have to live in constant mental chaos. You don't have to be a prisoner to your own thoughts. You can train your brain to work for you, not against you. This chapter is all about that transformation. We're going to break down how to reprogram your thinking so that peace, clarity, and confidence become your new normal. Let's begin. The brain is a creature of habit. Your brain is incredibly powerful, but it's also incredibly lazy. It loves patterns. It takes shortcuts. Once it learns a certain way of thinking or reacting, it repeats that pattern automatically. If you've been overthinking for months or years, your brain has built strong neural pathways, like highways, that make it easy to fall into that loop. That's why it feels so automatic, so natural. But here's the good news. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change, means you can build new highways. You can create new thought patterns that serve you instead of sabotage you. This isn't wishful thinking. It's science. And it's doable. Thought patterns are like muscles. Think of thoughts like muscles. The more you use a thought, like worry, fear, or doubt, the stronger it becomes. If you constantly tell yourself, "I can't handle this," or "What if I mess up?" that thought becomes your default. But what happens when you start using different mental muscles? What happens when you start thinking things like, "I'll figure it out. I don't need to know the outcome to take the next step. I've handled hard things before. I can do it again. Even if it's not perfect, it's progress." Those become your new defaults. your new patterns, and they begin to replace the old ones. You don't eliminate negative thoughts by force. You replace them by strengthening better ones. Step 1. Identify the repeating thoughts. Before you can rewire your thinking, you have to know what's been playing on loop. Take a moment right now and ask, what thought do I repeat the most when I overthink? Is it fear of failure? Fear of judgment? Fear of not being good enough? Do I tell myself I'll mess up? That I need to be perfect? Write these thoughts down. Be honest. You can't change what you're unwilling to confront. Once you identify the patterns, you can start rewiring them. Step 2. Challenge and replace the thought. Here's where the real work begins. You challenge the old thought, and you replace it with something better. Not fake positivity, but realistic, empowering truth. Let's look at a few examples. Old thought, what if I fail? New thought, if I fail, I'll learn, and learning moves me forward. Old thought, I don't know what to do. New thought, I don't need all the answers to take the next step. Old thought, I have to get it perfect. New thought, done is better than perfect. Progress matters more than perfection. This isn't about pretending. It's about retraining your brain to respond differently. You're taking the wheel back. Step 3. Use affirmations that align with action. Affirmations are powerful, but only when they're connected to real change. Instead of vague affirmations like, I'm amazing, try ones like, I trust myself to handle what comes. I can take action without knowing everything. I am learning to think clearly and act boldly. I am not my thoughts. I choose which ones to believe. Say them. Write them. Repeat them. Your brain learns through repetition. These affirmations, when spoken consistently, start to reshape your identity. And when you change how you see yourself, your habits follow. Step 4. Practice thought rehearsal. Thought rehearsal is the mental version of practice. Just like athletes visualize the game before playing, you can rehearse calm thinking and clear decision-making before the situation arises. Here's how. Visualize yourself in a situation that normally triggers overthinking. Instead of looping, imagine yourself responding calmly, taking action, and moving on. Replay that version in your mind over and over. What you rehearse, your brain starts to adopt as familiar. That's how you build a new response. Step 5. Create a default calm routine. You can't control every thought that pops into your mind, but you can control the environment that shapes your thoughts. Design a daily routine that helps you reset mentally. For example, 5 minutes of deep breathing in the morning, journaling your top 3 thoughts at night, listening to calming or motivational audio, regular physical movement or stretching, taking mindful breaks during work. This isn't about being perfect, it's about setting your mind up for success. Your mental habits are shaped by your daily actions. When you build a routine that grounds you, you create space for new thought patterns to grow. Step 6. Surround yourself with clarity. You become what you surround yourself with. If you spend time with people who constantly doubt, worry, or stay stuck, it reinforces your old thought patterns. But when you're around people who take action, who speak with clarity, who move forward, you begin to rise with them. Your environment is either feeding your overthinking or starving it. Be intentional about the voices you allow into your life, whether in person, online, or in your own head. Choose clarity. Choose growth. Choose people and content that reinforce your new identity. Final thoughts. Rewiring your mind is not a one-time fix, it's a daily practice. But each time you interrupt a negative thought, each time you speak a new truth, each time you choose clarity over chaos, you're laying a new mental pathway. Over time, those pathways become stronger than the old ones. And one day, the thoughts that once controlled you won't even rise to the surface. Remember, you are not stuck with the brain you were given. You are not stuck with the thoughts you've always had. You are not stuck in the loop of overthinking. You are capable of creating new thought patterns that empower you to move, lead, grow, and thrive. In the next chapter, we'll dive into trusting yourself, because confidence is one of the most powerful antidotes to overthinking. You've got this. Keep rewiring, keep growing, and keep listening. Chapter 4. Trust yourself. Build confidence in your decisions. What if I make the wrong choice? What if I regret this later? What if there's a better option? These are the silent whispers of overthinking, the constant questioning, the fear of making a mistake. And underneath it all is one simple truth: a lack of self-trust. Overthinking thrives in the absence of confidence. When you don't trust yourself, every decision feels like a trap. Every step forward feels risky. Every mistake feels fatal. But here's the truth that sets you free. You don't need to be perfect to trust yourself. You just need to believe that you can handle whatever comes. In this chapter, we're going to help you do exactly that. We'll explore how to build rock-solid trust in your own judgment, how to stop second-guessing every choice, and how to move forward with boldness, even in uncertainty. Let's begin. Why we struggle to trust ourselves. Trust isn't something you're born with. It's built through experience. But if your past includes criticism when you made mistakes, fear-based parenting or teaching, experiences of failure or rejection, high expectations of perfection, or being told you're too emotional or you think too much, you may have developed a deep inner belief that says, I can't trust myself. I always mess things up. I need someone else to decide for me. That belief becomes your inner compass. And guess what it leads to? Constant hesitation, fear of decision-making, obsession with outcomes, endless seeking of reassurance. Overthinking becomes a safety net for people who don't trust their own judgment. But you can flip the script. You can rebuild that trust, starting now. Step 1. Start with small decisions. Trust is like a muscle. You don't start by lifting 100 pounds. You begin with small, consistent reps. So start here. Practice making small decisions quickly. Don't overanalyze. Examples. Pick what to wear without changing your mind. Choose what to eat without scrolling through every option. Decide what to watch or read and stick with it. Choose when to take a break and take it without guilt. These tiny moments are training sessions. Each time you decide without drama, you send a signal to your brain, I can trust myself. The more you do this, the stronger that belief becomes. Step 2. Let go of the illusion of the perfect decision. Here's a truth bomb. There's no such thing as a perfect decision. Most of the time, there is no right or wrong. There's just action and adjustment. People who trust themselves don't wait for 100% certainty. They move at 60% clarity and adapt as they go. So stop trying to predict the future. Stop trying to eliminate all risk. Instead, say this: I will make the best choice I can with what I know right now. And if I need to adjust, I trust myself to do so. That's freedom. That's power. Step 3. Look at your track record. When you struggle with self-trust, your brain tends to remember every mistake you've ever made and forget every success. Let's change that. Right now, think of 3 times you made a decision that turned out well. It could be leaving a toxic relationship, starting something new, speaking up for yourself, solving a challenge, trusting your gut and being right. Remind yourself, I've made great decisions before. I can do it again. This practice builds evidence, and evidence builds trust. Step 4. Accept that mistakes are not failures. Here's a radical mindset shift. You don't need to be right, you need to be willing. Willing to choose. Willing to act. Willing to adjust. Willing to grow. People who trust themselves aren't afraid to be wrong. They know they'll learn either way. Mistakes are not a sign that you're broken. They're proof that you're trying. Repeat this when doubt creeps in. I trust myself to figure it out, even if I stumble along the way. Step 5. Stop asking for constant reassurance. One of the fastest ways to erode self-trust is to constantly ask others for permission, approval, or advice for every little thing. It seems helpful, but in reality, it sends this message to your brain: I can't make decisions without someone else's input. That's not true. You're capable. You're smart. You know more than you think. So next time you're tempted to say, "What do you think I should do?" Pause. Ask yourself, what do I think is the best step here? Even if you're unsure, practice answering yourself first. This simple habit will change your life. Step 6. Create an inner voice that builds you up. Overthinkers often have a loud inner critic. But what you need is an inner coach. Someone inside you who says, "You've got this. You're doing better than you think. Even if it's messy, you'll learn." You don't need to have all the answers to take action. Start talking to yourself the way you'd talk to a friend you believe in. Speak support, not shame. Every time you do, you reinforce trust. Step 7. Celebrate your decisions, even the hard ones. When you make a decision, don't just move on. Celebrate it. Say to yourself, "I chose. I acted. I didn't freeze. That was brave of me. I trusted myself, and I'm proud of that." This builds a positive feedback loop in your brain. The more you acknowledge your courage, the more confident you become. Over time, decision-making no longer feels heavy. It feels empowering. Final thoughts. Trust isn't about being right all the time. It's about knowing that even if you're wrong, you can handle it. It's about choosing action over fear. It's about believing that your judgment matters, that your inner voice deserves to be heard. You don't need more time to decide. You don't need more opinions. You need belief. The more you trust yourself, the less you'll overthink. Because trust creates movement. And movement silences doubt. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to stop needing everything to be perfect before you act, because perfectionism is the overthinker's favorite prison. But for now, remember this. You are enough. You are capable. You can trust yourself. Let's keep going. Chapter 5. Let go of perfectionism. Progress over perfection. Perfectionism sounds noble, doesn't it? I just want to do my best. I care about quality. I don't want to mess up. But behind the mask of high standards often hides something much deeper. Fear. Fear of judgment. Fear of failure. Fear of not being enough. And nothing fuels overthinking more than perfectionism. It keeps you stuck, spinning in your head. You second-guess every move. You delay starting. You hesitate to finish. Because somewhere inside, you believe if it's not perfect, it's not good enough, and by extension, you're not good enough. In this chapter, we're going to tear down the myth of perfection and replace it with a mindset that actually moves you forward. Progress. Let's dive in. The lie of perfection. Perfection is an illusion. It doesn't exist in real life, only in theory. Think about it. Has anything you've ever done, any project, any plan, any conversation, ever been truly perfect? Probably not. And yet, things still worked out. People still appreciated your effort. You still learned and grew. Here's the truth. Perfectionism is not about excellence. It's about fear of failure. It tells you, don't start unless you're sure. Don't speak unless it's flawless. Don't finish unless you've double-checked everything 100 times. And because perfection is impossible, you end up doing nothing at all. That's how perfectionism becomes the perfect recipe for overthinking. Why progress beats perfection every time. Let's say you want to write, speak, build, or create something meaningful. But instead of taking action, you keep refining the idea in your head. You tweak. You wait. You delay. And while you're waiting for the perfect plan, someone else with half your talent takes action and makes progress. That's how life works. The world rewards movement, not perfection. Progress teaches you. Progress builds confidence. Progress opens doors. Progress gets you where you want to go. So repeat this to yourself. Done is better than perfect. Progress is my new standard. This mindset will change your life. Step 1. Set good enough standards. The perfectionist mind always asks, is this the best it could possibly be? But that question is a trap. It never ends. Instead, ask, is this good enough to move forward? If the answer is yes, go. You can improve later. You can refine as you grow. But perfection can't be the price you pay for progress. So whether you're writing, planning, speaking, creating, or deciding, aim for done, not flawless. Perfection delays. Progress delivers. Step 2. Embrace the power of version 1. Every great thing starts as a rough draft. Your first attempt at anything is not supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to exist. That's it. The goal of version 1 is existence. Ask any successful person. Their first product, book, business, or video wasn't perfect. But it was out there. And that made all the difference. You can't improve what doesn't exist. So release version 1 and grow from there. Step 3. Redefine what success means. For a perfectionist, success means no mistakes, no flaws, no criticism. But that definition guarantees failure, because life doesn't work like that. Here's a better definition. Success means progress. Success means movement. Success means growth. If you took a step today, you succeeded. If you showed up, even with fear, you succeeded. If you finished something, even if it wasn't perfect, you succeeded. Let go of the finish line. Focus on forward motion. Step 4. Accept imperfection as part of mastery. People often think mastery means flawlessness. But mastery is the result of repetition, trial and error, and constant improvement. Do you want to become great at what you do? Then you must be willing to be imperfect while you learn. That means making messy first drafts, failing publicly sometimes, facing criticism and learning from it, improving step by step. No one gets great without getting it wrong first. So instead of aiming to be perfect, aim to be a little better every time. Step 5. Let people see the real you. Perfectionism isn't just about tasks, it's about image. It's the need to appear flawless to others, to never stumble, to never be vulnerable. But here's what most people don't realize. Perfection creates distance. Imperfection creates connection. People don't relate to perfect, they relate to real. They respect effort, honesty, and courage far more than polish. So let people see you trying. Let them see you growing. Let them see the real you, not the edited version. That authenticity will open more doors than perfection ever could. Step 6. Build a progress-first habit. Here's a practical exercise. Every day, do one thing imperfectly on purpose. Send the email without rereading it 5 times. Record the video without editing every word. Start the project before knowing exactly how it ends. Train your brain to value speed and action over flawless execution. Over time, this becomes your new normal. Act learn, adjust, repeat. That's how winners operate. Not by being perfect, but by being relentless. Final thoughts. Perfectionism is a thief. It steals time, energy, opportunity, and peace. But once you let go of the illusion that everything has to be perfect, you begin to move. You begin to breathe. You begin to live. So make this your mantra. Progress is my power. Done is my victory. Imperfection is my path to greatness. The moment you let go of perfection is the moment you start moving forward, for real. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to let go of the past, because many overthinkers aren't stuck in the future. They're stuck in what already happened. But today, you've taken a bold step. You've chosen progress over perfection. And that changes everything. Let's keep going. Chapter 6. Let go of the past. Release what no longer serves you. You can't drive forward while staring in the rearview mirror. Yet that's exactly what many overthinkers do. They replay old mistakes. They relive past failures. They hold on to guilt, regret, embarrassment, or pain. And without realizing it, they allow the past to become their prison. If you've ever caught yourself saying things like, "I should have known better. Why did I do that? If only I had made a different choice. I can't believe I let that happen," then you know exactly what it feels like to be haunted by your own thoughts. But here's the powerful truth. You don't live in the past. You live in the present. And the past, no matter how heavy, is not meant to be carried forever. In this chapter, we're going to learn how to finally let go of what no longer serves you. You'll discover how to stop replaying old memories, how to forgive yourself, and how to reclaim your power and peace, starting today. Let's begin. Why we get stuck in the past. The mind loves to revisit pain. It's like a loop that says, if I think about it enough, I can undo it. I can make sense of it. I can protect myself from it ever happening again. But here's the truth. The past can't be changed. It can only be learned from. Overthinking about what's already done doesn't protect you. It punishes you. You don't need more guilt. You don't need more self-blame. You need freedom. You need healing. You need peace. And that begins with a decision. I will no longer let the past define me. Step 1. Acknowledge, don't avoid. Letting go doesn't mean pretending the past didn't happen. It means facing it, with honesty and courage. Ask yourself, what moment, mistake, or memory do I keep replaying? What guilt, shame, or anger am I still holding on to? What belief about myself was born from that experience? Name it. Write it. Speak it out loud if you have to. Because healing begins with awareness. You can't release what you won't acknowledge. Step 2. Separate the event from your identity. One of the biggest lies your mind tells you is this. You messed up, so you are a mess. You failed, so you are a failure. You got hurt, so you must be weak. They left, so you must not be worth loving. None of those are true. What happened to you is real. But it's not who you are. You are not your past. You are not your worst moment. You are not the decision you regret. You are the person who survived it, who grew from it, who is still standing after it. Don't let an old version of you define your future. Step 3. Rewrite the story. Your past is a story your mind tells, over and over. But stories can be rewritten. Instead of saying, I ruined everything, say, I made the best choice I could with who I was and what I knew at the time. Instead of saying, I wasted years, say, I learned valuable lessons that are helping me now. Instead of saying, they broke me, say, that pain woke me up to what I deserve. You don't have to lie to yourself, but you can tell the truth in a way that empowers you. You are the narrator. Change the tone. Change the outcome. Step 4. Forgive yourself. This might be the hardest part, but it's also the most healing. If you want to stop overthinking about the past, you must forgive the person you were when it happened. That version of you was doing the best they could. Maybe they were afraid. Maybe they didn't know better. Maybe they were trying to protect themselves. Whatever the reason, you're not that person anymore. You've grown. You've learned. You've changed. Say this to yourself. I forgive myself. I release myself. I set myself free. You can't rewrite the past, but you can stop reliving it. And that begins with grace. Step 5. Let go of what you can't control. Many overthinkers carry the past because they're still trying to control the outcome. But the truth is, you can't make them understand. You can't go back and fix it. You can't undo what's been done. You have two options. Stay stuck in something you can't change. Let go and focus on what you can control. Today, letting go doesn't mean you're okay with what happened. It means you're choosing peace over punishment, and that choice is yours. Step 6. Create a daily release practice. Letting go isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily practice. Try this simple technique. Every evening, close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. And repeat quietly. I release today. I release what I can't change. I give myself permission to rest. You can even journal what you're letting go of. Make it a ritual, a conscious act of freedom. Over time, your mind will learn that it's safe to move on. Step 7. Focus on who you're becoming. The past only has power when you stare at it. But the future pulls you forward when you give it your attention. Ask yourself, who am I becoming because of what I've been through? What strengths have I gained? What wisdom have I earned? Let your focus shift from what was to what is next. The best way to let go of the past is to build a future that excites you. Your story is still being written, and the next chapter is in your hands. Final thoughts. You don't need to carry the weight of your past any longer. You don't need to punish yourself for what you didn't know. You don't need to keep replaying old pain. It's over. Now it's time to release it. Say it with me. I am not my past. I am not my pain. I am free to move forward. And you are. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to train your focus, because what you give energy to grows. And the more you focus on what's right, the less power what's wrong will have. But for now, take a deep breath and let it go. You're doing beautifully. Keep going. Chapter 7. Train your focus. What you give energy to grows. Your mind is like a garden. Every thought you focus on is a seed you're watering. The question is, what are you growing? Are you nurturing thoughts of fear, doubt, regret, and what if? Or are you feeding courage, clarity, peace, and purpose? Here's the truth that every overthinker must understand. Whatever you focus on expands. What you give energy to grows. If you constantly think about problems, your problems will seem bigger. If you focus on failure, your confidence will shrink. If you dwell on what's missing, you'll always feel empty. But if you start focusing on growth, you'll notice progress. If you pay attention to what you can control, you'll feel empowered. If you keep your eyes on gratitude, you'll feel more joy. Your life will follow your focus. So in this chapter, we're going to learn how to train your attention like a muscle, take control of what you feed your mind, and shift your mental energy toward what matters most. Let's get into it. Why focus feels so hard. Overthinkers don't have weak minds, they have overactive minds. Your brain is like a browser with 50 tabs open. Some are about the past, others about the future. A few are running fears in the background. And you keep clicking between them, exhausting yourself. No wonder you can't focus. But the good news is, focus is a skill, and just like a muscle, it can be strengthened. It begins with awareness, and it grows with practice. Step 1. Learn to catch the drift. Focus drifts when we let the mind wander aimlessly. 1 minute you're working on something important. The next, your thoughts are spiraling into what-if scenarios, old memories, or imagined disasters. The first step to regaining focus is noticing when you've lost it. Try this. Set a timer to check in with yourself every hour. Ask, where is my mind right now? Is it in the past, the future, or the present? This small habit creates awareness. And awareness is power. Because once you catch the drift, you can bring your focus back. Step 2. Practice selective attention. You don't have to think every thought your brain throws at you. You don't have to chase every idea or worry. You get to choose where your attention goes. Try this simple exercise. When a negative thought appears, pause and say, is this thought helpful or harmful? If it's helpful, explore it. If it's harmful, let it pass. This is called mental filtering, and it's one of the most powerful tools against overthinking. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer, and the observer has the final say. Step 3. Use the power of intention. Intentional focus beats accidental thinking every time. Start your day with this question. What do I want to give my energy to today? Write it down. Speak it out loud. Own it. Whether it's finishing a task, being present with family, taking care of your health, working on a dream. Make it clear and specific. When you give your brain a clear target, it stops chasing distractions. Focus follows clarity. Step 4. Shift from problem thinking to solution thinking. Overthinkers often get stuck in what's wrong. They replay what went wrong, what could go wrong, and how bad it might get. It's like sitting in a rocking chair. Lots of motion, no progress. But solution-focused thinking says, okay, this is the situation. What can I do about it? What's one step forward? What's within my control right now? Focusing on solutions doesn't mean ignoring the problem. It means redirecting your energy to what empowers you. And when you train yourself to look for progress, even small wins become momentum. Step 5. Guard your mental space. You can't focus if you're constantly feeding your mind junk. Think about what you consume daily. Negative news cycles, toxic social media feeds, gossip, drama, or complaints, endless scrolling. These things clutter your mind, steal your attention, and spike your anxiety. So clean house. Start asking, does this deserve space in my mind? Is this helping me grow or keeping me stuck? Unfollow accounts that drain you. Set limits on digital noise. Spend time in silence. Read something empowering. Feed your mind well. You can't plant seeds of peace in a garden full of weeds. Step 6. Create focus rituals. Your environment can either distract you or train you to focus. Try building small rituals that condition your brain to enter focus mode. Here are a few. Light a candle before starting deep work. Put your phone in another room for 25 minutes. Use calming music or white noise to stay centered. Journal for 5 minutes before a task to clear your mind. Say an affirmation like, I choose to be fully present now. Your brain thrives on cues. The more consistent your rituals, the stronger your focus becomes. Step 7. Focus on what's working. The mind naturally seeks problems. It's how it keeps you safe. But you can retrain it to see what's working. Each evening, write down 3 things that went well today. 1 thing you're proud of. 1 thing you're looking forward to. This daily focus on the positive rewires your brain to look for progress instead of problems. Remember, overthinking feeds on fear, but focus flourishes in gratitude. Final thoughts. You have more control than you think. You're not stuck with a restless mind, you just need to retrain it. Focus isn't about fighting every thought. It's about choosing which ones deserve your energy. So ask yourself every day, what am I growing with my thoughts? Because your life will follow your focus. And when you train it well, you become unstoppable. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to respond instead of react, and how emotional self-control can completely change the way you think and feel. But for now, take a moment, center yourself, and remember, what you give energy to grows. Chapter 8. Respond, don't react. Build emotional self-control. Have you ever said something in the heat of the moment and regretted it immediately? Have you ever let one negative comment spiral into hours of self-doubt and overthinking? This is the trap of emotional reactivity. When we react, we let our emotions take the driver's seat. When we respond, we choose our actions with clarity and calm. The difference may seem small, but it's the line between chaos and control. Overthinkers often struggle with emotional self-control because their minds are always on alert, always scanning, predicting, replaying. But here's the truth. You are not your emotions. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who notices them. And you have the power to choose your next move. This chapter is about building that power, the ability to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting emotionally. Because when you master your emotional state, you gain freedom from overthinking. Let's break this down. Reaction versus response. A reaction is fast, automatic, and emotional. A response is slow, intentional, and thoughtful. Let's say someone criticizes you. A reaction is snapping back, shutting down, or overthinking what they said for hours. A response is pausing, breathing, assessing the truth, and moving forward with self-control. When you respond, you're in charge. When you react, your emotions are in charge. Think of it like this. Reacting is impulsive. Responding is powerful. Why overthinkers struggle to respond? Overthinking creates mental clutter. And when your mind is cluttered, even a small trigger can feel overwhelming. Your brain is already juggling regrets, fears, doubts, and endless scenarios, so when something emotional happens, it explodes. The secret to better emotional control isn't to suppress your feelings. It's to create space between what happens and how you choose to handle it. That space is where your power lives. Let's learn how to build it. Step 1. Pause before you proceed. The next time you feel triggered, try this simple but powerful phrase. Pause. Don't react yet. This 3-second pause gives your rational brain time to catch up. It stops the emotional wave from crashing into impulsive words or actions. When you feel your heart race or anger rising, breathe. That pause is your superpower. Because in that stillness, you choose whether to act or overreact. Step 2. Name the emotion. When you feel overwhelmed, try saying, "This is anxiety. This is frustration. This is fear. This is just a feeling. It will pass." Labeling the emotion calms the brain. It switches you from experiencing the storm to watching the storm. You're no longer drowning in it, you're observing it. And when you can name it, you can tame it. Step 3. Ask empowering questions. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me? What if it all goes wrong? What will they think of me? What can I learn from this? What's the most helpful response? What part of this is in my control?" Empowering questions shift your focus from panic to purpose. They rewire your brain to seek solutions instead of spirals. Step 4. Don't take the bait. Not every comment deserves a reply. Not every argument deserves your energy. Not every emotion requires action. When someone pushes your buttons, ask, "Is this about me, or is it about them?" Often, people project their own fears, pain, or insecurity. Don't take it personally. Don't carry what isn't yours. You're not here to please everyone. You're here to stay in peace. Step 5. Develop your emotional baseline. Your emotional reaction is often tied to your inner state. If you're sleep-deprived, stressed, or overthinking, small triggers feel massive. But if you take care of your inner world, you become stronger and calmer on the outside. Strengthen your baseline with regular exercise, good sleep habits, journaling, mindful breathing, positive affirmations, time away from screens and noise. The more grounded you are, the less reactive you become. Step 6. Practice responding later. Here's a technique few people talk about, but it works. Delay your response. If an email makes you angry, don't reply immediately. If someone says something that hurts, give it 24 hours. If you feel pulled into an argument, walk away and breathe. Time gives you perspective. Emotions pass. And when they do, you can respond from clarity instead of chaos. Step 7. Create a personal response code. Here's a tool to simplify your life. Come up with a code or mantra that reminds you of your higher self. Something like, "I stay calm under pressure." "Not everything needs a reaction." "Peace is my priority." "I respond with wisdom, not wounds." Repeat it whenever emotions rise. This becomes your anchor in the storm. It reminds you of who you are and who you want to be. Final thoughts. The goal isn't to never feel emotions. The goal is to own them, not be owned by them. Your ability to pause, reflect, and respond gives you true freedom. Because once you learn to control your emotional reactions, you also quiet the mind. You stop replaying every conversation. You stop spiraling from every trigger. You stop second-guessing every response. You step into strength. You step into self-trust. You step into clarity. Responding, not reacting, is a daily choice. But every time you choose it, you get stronger. You train your brain to pause, think, and lead from a place of power. In the next chapter, we're going to take that strength even further by learning how to shift your entire perspective through the power of daily gratitude. Because when you train your mind to see what's good, you stop obsessing over what's wrong. Chapter 9. Practice gratitude daily. Shift your perspective. Shift your life. Imagine this. Two people go through the exact same day. One focuses on everything that went wrong, the delay, the rude email, the missed opportunity. The other focuses on everything that went right, the warm coffee, the kind smile, the small win. Same day. Completely different experience. The difference? Gratitude. Gratitude is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about recognizing what is already good, even when things aren't. It's about choosing where your attention goes, and that choice is the most powerful tool you have against overthinking. Because overthinking thrives on what's missing, what went wrong, and what could go wrong. Gratitude brings your mind back to what's here, what's working, and what's worth celebrating. Why gratitude matters for overthinkers. If you're stuck in a loop of worry, doubt, and what-ifs, it's because your mind is trained to scan for threats or problems. That's not your fault. It's how the human brain evolved. But here's the truth. What you focus on, you fuel. And when you fuel problems, they grow. When you fuel gratitude, peace grows. Gratitude rewires your brain to notice the good. It's not toxic positivity. It's mental training. Think of your mind like a radio. Overthinking tunes into fear, regret, and anxiety. Gratitude changes the station. It shifts your emotional frequency. Let's look at how to make gratitude a daily practice that transforms your perspective and your life. Step 1. Start a daily gratitude ritual. You don't need an hour or a fancy journal. All you need is 3 to 5 minutes a day to reflect on. What made you smile today? What are you proud of? Who or what are you thankful for? What simple thing did you enjoy? Write it down. Speak it aloud. Think it while you walk. This isn't about perfection. It's about presence. The key is consistency. Over time, this tiny habit trains your brain to default to gratitude, not fear. Step 2. Use gratitude to interrupt overthinking. When your mind starts spiraling, use this simple tool. But I'm grateful for. For example, I don't know how this will work out, but I'm grateful I have support. I'm afraid I'll fail, but I'm grateful I have the courage to try. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm grateful for how far I've come. Gratitude doesn't erase problems, but it adds perspective. And perspective is what overthinking lacks. You can't feel fear and gratitude at the same time. Choose gratitude, and the fear shrinks. Step 3. Focus on what you can control. Overthinking often comes from trying to control the uncontrollable, other people's opinions, the future, the outcome. Gratitude anchors you in the present and reminds you. You can control your mindset. You can control your effort. You can control your attitude. And that's enough. That's more than enough. Start thanking life for what's within your power. Watch how empowered you begin to feel. Step 4. Practice gratitude reframing. This is a powerful tool. Take something you normally complain about and flip it into something you're grateful for. I'm tired from working late becomes, I'm grateful I have work that matters. I feel overwhelmed with responsibilities becomes, I'm grateful I'm trusted with important things. I had a tough conversation becomes, I'm grateful I had the courage to speak up. It's not about denial. It's about ownership. You take control of the story you tell yourself. And when you change the story, you change your experience. Step 5. Express gratitude to others. Here's something powerful. Gratitude expressed becomes joy multiplied. When you thank someone, genuinely, you feel more connected, more alive, more grounded. And so do they. Text a friend. Call your parents. Compliment a coworker. Thank your partner. Gratitude in relationships removes assumptions and replaces them with appreciation. And that kills overthinking. Why? Because overthinking thrives in silence. It fills in the blanks with fear. Gratitude clears the air with truth. Step 6. Gratitude as a morning and night routine. Start and end your day with gratitude. Not your to-do list. Not your problems. Not your phone. When you wake up, ask, what am I excited for today? What do I appreciate about my life? When you go to bed, ask, what went well today? What am I thankful for? These bookends shape how your brain filters everything in between. You begin each day with optimism and end with peace. That's the foundation of a calm, focused, fulfilled mind. Step 7. Gratitude in difficult moments. The real test of gratitude is not when things are easy. It's when life is hard. Even in pain, there is something to be thankful for. The lesson, the growth, the resilience being built, the fact that you're still standing. Say this to yourself. This moment is tough, but it's shaping me into someone stronger. That's gratitude in its highest form, not just for what feels good, but for what's good for you. Final thoughts. Gratitude is not a practice for when things are perfect. It's the practice that helps you stay mentally strong when things are not. It softens fear. It calms chaos. It silences overthinking. And it reconnects you to what really matters. Because no matter what's going wrong, there is always something going right. Your heart is still beating. Your mind is still learning. Your future is still unfolding. When you focus on what you're thankful for, you're reminded. You already have enough. You already are enough. So make gratitude your daily filter. Let it guide your thoughts, fuel your actions, and calm your mind. In the next and final chapter, we'll tie it all together. How to take all the tools you've learned and step boldly into a new identity. A calm, focused, powerful thinker. Chapter 10. Master your mind. Finish strong and live free. You've come a long way. You've learned how to break the cycle, build trust in yourself, let go of what holds you back, and train your mind to focus on what matters. You've discovered how to respond with calm, practice gratitude, and embrace progress over perfection. Now it's time for the final step. Master your mind. This means owning your thoughts, your emotions, your decisions, and living free from the chains of overthinking. It means stepping into a life where clarity replaces confusion, courage replaces hesitation, and peace replaces doubt. Mastering your mind is not about controlling every thought. It's about becoming the leader of your inner world. What does it mean to master your mind? Mastery is a journey, not a destination. It means recognizing that your mind is powerful, but you are more powerful. When you master your mind, you choose your thoughts instead of your thoughts choosing you. You act with confidence instead of hesitation. You find calm in chaos instead of panic in uncertainty. You live in the present instead of reliving the past or fearing the future. This mastery doesn't happen overnight. It happens moment by moment, choice by choice. Step 1. Make your mental habits your allies. Every thought you think shapes your brain. Every habit you practice rewires your mind. So decide now. Which habits will serve you? You've learned many powerful habits in this audiobook. Pausing before reacting. Choosing progress over perfection. Practicing daily gratitude. Shifting focus intentionally. Make these habits your new default. Repetition is the key. The more you practice, the more your brain rewires itself for calm, clarity, and confidence. Step 2. Build daily mindfulness. Mindfulness is the foundation of mental mastery. It's the practice of paying attention, on purpose, to the present moment without judgment. When you're mindful, you catch overthinking before it spirals. You notice your thoughts and feelings without getting lost in them. Try to set aside just 5 minutes a day for mindfulness. Focus on your breath. Notice your body. Observe your thoughts as passing clouds. Mindfulness builds the space between stimulus and response. And that space is your power. Step 3. Commit to growth, not perfection. Mastery is not about never failing. It's about growing stronger through every challenge. When your mind pulls you into old fears or doubts, remind yourself, I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm becoming. Every mistake is a lesson. Every discomfort is a doorway. Commit to growth as your lifelong path. Step 4. Protect your mental environment. You are what you feed your mind. Guard your mental environment like you guard your physical space. Limit negativity. Surround yourself with support. Choose inspiration over distraction. Remember what you learned. What you focus on grows. Choose wisely what you allow into your mind. Step 5. Take bold action. Overthinking thrives in inaction. Mastering your mind means doing, even when you don't feel 100% ready. Action builds momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence quiets doubt. So take that next step, big or small, with courage. Even imperfect action moves you forward. Step 6. Practice compassion with yourself. Mastery isn't about harsh self-discipline. It's about kindness, patience, and forgiveness. You will slip up. You will overthink again. When that happens, don't beat yourself up. Say, I'm human. I'm learning. I will try again. Compassion fuels resilience. Final thoughts. Live free. Overthinking no longer has to control you. You have the tools. You have the power. You have the mind. Mastering your mind is your gift to yourself, a life lived with clarity, confidence, and calm. Imagine waking up each day feeling centered, focused, and free. Imagine making decisions without the heavy fog of doubt. Imagine living fully, without the chains of what if and if only. That life is yours to claim. So take a deep breath, stand tall, and step boldly into your freedom. You've finished this journey strong, and your new life is just beginning. Thank you for trusting yourself enough to listen. Now go live free. Thank you so much for listening to How to Control Overthinking. I hope these chapters have given you powerful tools to take control of your mind and live with more peace and confidence. If you found value in this audiobook, please like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future content designed to help you grow, focus, and thrive. I'd also love to hear from you. Please drop a comment and share which chapter or tip resonated most with you, or what challenges you face with overthinking. And if you want the full experience with all the chapters in one place, including extra exercises and deeper insights, the complete book is available for purchase. Just check the link in the description below to get your copy and continue your journey to mental freedom. Remember, mastering your mind is a journey, and every step forward counts. Thank you again for being here. Stay focused, stay strong, and keep moving forward.